Hello, and welcome to episode 13 of Anime Territory. I am your host this week, Benjamin Shabbing, and with me, as always, is Johnny, the Green Knight Ruhal. Okay. Johnny, how are you?
Apparently, I am a tall plant man that wants to cut off your head, and at least half of that is true. I would say 2/3 of that is true.
You're definitely a big green man. Okay, so today's episode is a summer 2021 season impressions. So we watched 8 animes total, 6 together, 1 of each by ourselves.
Okay, so we each watched 7 animes.
Yes.
6 of them were the same, but we have 8 to talk about.
Mm-hmm. So I think we should just jump right into it.
Can we let's list off? Let's go ahead and say the order that we're talking about at the top here.
Okay. So first we are going to talk about The Detective Is Already Dead.
Yep.
Next is Sonny Boy.
Yep.
Then Peach Boy Riverside. Remake Our Life. Girlfriend. The Great Jahy Will Not Be Defeated. You watched Duke of Death and Whatever.
Yeah, and then, Duke of Death and His Maid. Or something like that.
And then I watched Kageki Shoujo.
Which we thought was called Opera Girl. It might still be called that, but now
I could not find it under the terms Opera Girl. So I had to do its Japanese title, which is Kageki Shoujo.
And it may or may not... that may be a name that we just grabbed out of a hat. Who knows?
I don't know. I could have sworn I saw Opera Girl, but oh well.
Doesn't matter. That's what we watched.
That's what I watched.
Well, yeah. I meant the whole list is what we watched.
Oh, okay. So you didn't watch that show.
Moving on.
So, first one we are going to talk about is The Detective Is Already Dead.
Okay.
Go for it.
Yes. So this one I actually watched twice because I started watching it by myself. Mm-hmm. And then we decided to do this summer preview episode. And I'm like, well, we should watch this since I already watched it. So I watched it again with you. Mm-hmm. Well, I've still only seen the first 3 episodes. There are more episodes out of a lot of these shows. The Detective Is Already Dead. I like it. I wasn't necessarily expecting supernatural.
It goes into that hard. Yeah, well, I guess not supernatural.
Well, it's sci-fi.
It's sci-fi, yeah.
There's like a cyborg guy, but it's just like
android.
Yeah, they use android, but then they specifically say he's only a partial android. It's just his ear. And I'm like, well, that's what a cyborg is. An android is the complete being that. I mean, they're Japanese. They fucked it up in Dragon Ball Z too. Like they.
Okay. So those just supposed to be cyborgs.
Some of the androids in Dragon Ball Z are actual androids, completely mechanized beings.
Okay.
A lot of them are actually cyborgs,
which are like a hybrid.
Yeah, they were humans originally, and then turned into machines.
Gotcha.
So like they have human brains, and they've got skin and sexual organs and stuff. Because spoiler alert, 18 as a kid after she turns into a good person. So
cool.
And I'm fairly for sure 17 does too. I think he's got a family in Dragon Ball Super. Whatever. Anyway, I used the wrong term. They're Japanese. Robot, android, cyborg, monster with a weird ear thing. It's all the same. Yeah, who cares? It's a way to have weird shit in your show. Mm-hmm. And then they have like legendary tools. The detective has 7 legendary tools or something. One that can open any lock. One that can let her fly. And I think a 3rd one is the gun she uses in the first episode that has bullets made out of her blood so that when she shoots somebody with it, they can't hurt her anymore.
Damn, I want that key.
Yeah. I guess we should just explain that when we play D&D, your characters are always obsessed with keys.
Every time I play a rogue, which is basically every time I play D&D, my characters are obsessed with keys. I mean, not obsessed with keys, but... You always have like 6 keys. You keep every key you find. You try every key on every door just in case they're going to work. Every time I try to pick a lock or like open a door that's locked, I have to try the keys first because you never know when it's going to work.
Yeah. And it did work once, but...
I wasn't there.
Yeah, you weren't there. You couldn't make it, so it's like, all right, well, Ben tries all his keys. It's like, yeah, one of them worked. because I think our DM was waiting for that. He's like, Ben's not here. Let's have one of them work finally.
Oh, I'd be so mad. Wow. Anyway.
I think it was intentional. Anyway, so to give a kind of brief overview of the show, I'm not going to go too spoilery into it, but I will spoil the first episode. The first episode is like a double feature. It's 40 minutes long. This dude, main character, he's like, I'm a trouble magnet. I accidentally witness shady drug deals. I stumble upon murder scenes. To this point, the police are like suspicious of me because of how often I show up around these dealings. Mm-hmm. And now I'm flying internationally, and as I was flying home, I got stopped before the airport and was made to carry this.
Was he flying home, or was he flying to somewhere else?
We see him at his home next after the plane incident.
That's
doesn't mean he didn't fly somewhere else, and we just didn't see him returning home.
It's possible he got there and then flew back home.
Yeah,
and that's why she beat him there, because she took the red eye.
Yeah. Anyway. He's flying internationally, and before he was able to get on the plane, he was, or possibly why he was on the plane to begin with, is because he was coerced into taking a weird briefcase onto the plane. Mm-hmm. Flight attendant comes up to the cabin asking, "Hey, is there a detective on board?"
He's like,
"That's weird. They would ask for a doctor." Anyway, it doesn't matter. I'm not a detective. Girl sitting next to him raises her hand saying, "Yep, I'm a detective." And she's like, "You, come be my sidekick." And he's like, "I guess, whatever.
I got nothing else to do."
Yeah. So they go. There's a guy hijacking the plane. And he's like, "I'll only not blow up the plane if you can figure out why I'm doing this." So she comes up with some reason that's kind of half-hearted. And he's like, "Yep, that's it.
Bye."
Bye. And then he asks her a follow-up question why, I can't remember the exact question, but she's like, "Oh no, I knew you would be here. Mm-hmm. I knew what was going to happen before I got on this flight because a detective knows the situation before it happens," sort of thing. A good detective.
Being a real prick about it.
Yeah. And so he's like, "Well, I'm glad I asked that follow-up question because now I got to kill you because I work for some secret organization."
Like SIRS or something?
Spes. S-P-E-S.
Spes.
And they are... he fell out of graces with them, so they were making him blow up the plane. He didn't really want to die, which is why he came up with the I'll stop now that I was thwarted.
Basically, whatever she said, he was going to.
Yeah, it's like I was thwarted, so I couldn't do it. Yeah. Oh no. But he's like, well, maybe I'll get in good if I'm able to
kill this famous detective.
Kill this detective who was shadowing our organization and we had no idea about. Mm-hmm. Turns out he's got a weird cyborg ear tentacle, multiple tentacles thing that he can attack.
It's really gross.
Yeah. But she's jumping around and can't really attack him back, but is holding her own for a bit. Mm-hmm. The trouble magnet, he's like, I've gotten really good at responding to crisis situations because I'm always in them. So he's like, to hold him off for 30 seconds, I think I might have something that'll help. He goes and he grabs the briefcase. He's like, I think this is a weapon in here. Could have been drugs. Who cares? He's like, it's the only thing I can think of to try. Yeah. So we might as well try. Turns out it's got a gun. She shoots the guy with it, and he regenerates his ear and goes to stab her. And he's like, "Oh no, my special bullets, those bullets we talked about."
She's got.
And the guy was like, "How did you get those special bullets?" Yeah, from Fate Zero.
Not quite the same, but magical bullets, same thing.
How did you get those bullets made so quickly? He's like, "Don't be ridiculous. I had them made beforehand. I'm the one responsible for making you take this."
I gave you the gun. I knew you were going to be on this plane.
Yeah. And she's like, "Come be my sidekick." And he's like, "No? What's in it for me?" And she's like, I'll protect you from all the danger that we get in." And he's like, "Well, I just won't be in that danger if I say no." She keeps... That's not really... Anyway, she keeps giving half-hearted answers. And he's like, well, that wouldn't be a problem if I just said no. You wouldn't be able to do that for me or whatever. But nice enough guy, he's like, "All right, well, I'll keep considering it. I want your opinion on this other weird thing that happens. Yeah. People keep disappearing and it's tied to a ghost story at my school." And she's like,
Not the movie, just a separate ghost story.
Yeah. Speaking of, we just watched The Green Knight in theaters earlier today. So if we're a little weird, it's just us kind of processing that.
And we're tired.
Yeah, we're tired. But the director of that also directed a ghost story, so that's on our mind right Anyway, they discover it's like, okay, hey, this is. She's like, yeah, I'll investigate this for you. So they go to his school when they're having like a school festival.
Yeah, school festival.
And then she's like, oh, it was like people on the track team doing drugs and then getting addicted to it, so they have to sell the drugs to make money to afford the drugs. So they catch that and they have like a cute romantic comedy moment that's kind of meta because they're like, it's time for romantic comedy. And then at the end they're like, man, we spent too much time on the romantic comedy.
That was pretty good. It's like, oh no, we spent too much time on the romantic comedy. He's getting away.
Yeah. And then at the end of the episode he's like, yep, I'll be your detective.
Your sidekick.
Or your sidekick detective. And then it flashes forward like 3 years?
I think it's technically 4.
Yeah. But he's like, I'm a senior in high school now. I was like a senior in middle school.
Mm-hmm.
But the detective died a year ago. Yeah. She's already dead. We were partners for 3 years and she died. Yeah. Now I live a normal life.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next episode, he's like approached by somebody who
like a classmate.
Yeah, a classmate saying like, hey, aren't you that legendary detective? And she has all these news articles of him. He's like, I'm just a sidekick, but yeah, I'll help you. Turns out like she was looking for somebody, but she didn't know who.
Yes.
And then she's got this is spoiling episode 2 now, but like this is still part of the setup of.
Yeah, this is.
Episode 2 is still really part of the setup. It was like, where is the show going from here?
Yeah.
So episode 1 was like very much like, okay, all that fun stuff you thought it was going at, that's already ended. Yeah. Now we're in the future.
This is setup. Now we need setup for the next setup.
Yeah. She's like, just ever since I got my heart transplant a year ago, there's been somebody that I desperately needed to see, and I don't know who. He's like, well, it's not. It might be phantom memories from the thing. Not a scientifically proven thing, but people have.
Yeah. So it's like not somebody that you need to see, but the person whose heart you have has to see.
And he's like, so case solved. You don't need to find this person. I'm out of here. And she's like, how dare you? Like, it's still my heart. And then it wants what it wants. Yeah. So he's like, all right.
I might know a guy who can help.
They go to view that
weird ear guy.
That weird ear guy, because he mentioned how he could like hear heartbeats from
like 1,000 miles away or something.
It wasn't that much, but he.
It was a long way.
Yeah, he could like recognize people's heartbeats. So they go and view him, and he's blind now for some reason in prison. And he's like, "Oh no, I mean." I've heard that heart before.
I know who that heart is.
I thought it was the detective coming to see me because I heard the heartbeat. And they're like, oh, okay. And there's like a touching moment between them.
Well, I think the cool part was like he goes to like do the tentacle attack on the lady.
Oh yeah,
and it
disintegrates before it hits the heart. Yeah,
that's when I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah. So it's like and then the episode, they have like a heart to heart where he's like. Like why are you in there? And you have me so worried, and
And then he's like, he tells the girl whose detective's heart's in is like, you don't have to follow her path. You can be whoever you want to be.
Yeah, like don't. Even though like it's her heart, it's yours now. Yeah. Like live the life that you want.
It's your life.
Yeah. And then in the middle of the street, as he's like walking away, he thinks that like she grabs his arm and he's like, yeah, what is it? But it's somebody else completely different showed up saying like, hey, are you a legendary detective? I need a legendary detective to help me. Setting up that they're just gonna kind of
it's gonna basically be a detective show.
Yeah. And the girl with the detective's heart is like, no, he's just a psychic. Yep, I'll help you. I'm the detective. I'm the legendary detective. So that's the setup for the show there. We watched one more episode where it's like half of the first. Yeah. I would say, well, I mean, we haven't watched episode 4, but I would assume it's half to a third of the next case they have to do.
Do you think a third?
I think it's half, but I'm leaving it open for being a third. I mean, it's going to be, hopefully it's like a supernatural detective show, and I don't know, we like those.
Yeah.
We like Psych and Monk,
I had some issues with it, but it's enjoyable.
I think a lot of people on the internet don't really like it that much. But like the biggest complaint I heard when I read when I was looking at the discussion on Reddit for the first episode was people like, this guy doesn't look like, he looks like a college age kid or a grown up. He doesn't look like a middle school kid. I'm like, that's your issue?
That's your issue?
All anime characters look older than they're supposed to be.
I had a mustache in 5th grade. We played soccer against kids who thought I was like in college. It happens.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd call what you had in 5th grade a real mustache. There were hairs there for sure, but it was... Mustache is a strong word.
I'm just saying.
Yeah. Yeah, no, we both had beards our final like soccer years.
I had a beard in like sophomore in high school.
Yeah.
I peaked early.
We're hairy boys.
Anyways.
You more than me.
I think my kind of, I don't know, main issue, but I feel like that supernatural thing is just kind of out of nowhere. I'm sure that's going to go into it, but I feel like it was kind of weird to like just hop right into it.
It hops right into it, and then it completely ignores it for the second case. The first episode has 2 cases in it, and one of them is supernatural, and one of them is just like a drug deal.
It's a drug deal. There's bunny costumes. There's nothing supernatural about it. The only supernatural thing is that she has shoes that can fly.
Yeah, which they use to catch him.
Yeah.
Like, whatever.
But again, I'm sure they're gonna like talk about it later.
Yeah, it's got to come up.
It's a weird transition to do in this season.
Yeah, and like I have a feeling that the reveal of the show is gonna be that she set up the dead detective set up all the steps for them to foil this organization ahead of time. Like she knew it all. Like I have a feeling it's just gonna be kind of like, okay, whatever. Yeah. Like that I knew it all along answer is kind of a little like, you know, that gets rid of some of the fun of the detective of, you know, hey,
I feel like that's a lot of people have the problem people have a lot with these types of detective shows. It's like, all right, if he knows everything though, then why is he like doing all this? It's I don't know.
Well, yeah.
It kind of takes the fun out of it, I guess.
Should we? Yeah, I get it. Like, okay, you're just so smart. Yeah. But then it's like if you do it well, you can do it as like you know, like, okay, I know the answer, but I have to have proof of it. I can't just go off of deductive reasoning or whatever. So I have to, you know, it's what Monk did.
Monk is like, that's the guy. Now I got to prove that's the guy.
Yeah, so it's like you can turn it into like a battle, like, okay, manipulation, I need to get them into a spot where either they trip themselves up or they reveal themselves and I've got definitive proof of what's going on. Or so that it could be interesting, you know, but it's there's definitely also like okay, not knowing I also like detective stories where you don't know what's going on and you're hunting down trying to find the clues or you stumble upon the clues. You know, there's just different takes on the same genre, which makes things interesting. Should we talk about dibs for this show?
I don't have any dibs on this show.
Yeah, you do.
I do?
Yeah, you've got Nagisa, Natsunagi Nagisa, which is which is the girl who gets the heart.
Yes.
So you've got her, the main girl. I've got the legendary detective who goes by the codename Siesta. And I think I have everybody else. Yeah. I've got the police lady. I've got the lady who comes to them with their first case after the detective is dead. So, this is the one thing I'm bringing up dibs for this is the girl that you have dibs on has the heart of the girl that I have dibs on. Okay. And they're kind of playing as if part of that siesta is still in her. Because, like, she has dreams where she's talking to her. And she has, like, you know, there are feelings that the heart puts out that she doesn't understand. So, do I have partial dibs on her?
No.
No?
No. I thought we've discussed the dibs is, like, the soul of the character, not any physical parts.
But is Siesta's soul, part of her, still there? In the heart, because the heart, biologically speaking, has nothing to do with emotions. Yes. But in this show, there are emotions coming from the heart. So you can look at it biologically in that emotions come from the brain, and therefore,
I don't know.
That doesn't make any sense for the heart.
You're just trying to steal a dibs from me is all I'm getting.
I just want to throw it out there.
Nah.
that if Siesta somehow manifests, like, in Natsunagi Nagasa's body, I don't know which is her first name, which is her last name. Okay. If that somehow manifests in her,
you're talking about like
she's manifesting in there.
You're talking like a possession.
Yeah, if like a possession thing happens.
So we got to treat it as more as like what happens if your person gets possessed.
I guess.
It's an interesting question, actually.
And like, there's also that brings into question like multiple personalities and stuff too.
Interesting.
Because like one thing I'm thinking. I mean. Okay, one thing I'm thinking is which you never finished this. I watched it once, but we never finished it when we watched this together. In Golden Time, the main character is kind of he loses his memories at one point.
Yeah.
And like his memories kind of like surface and it becomes like a different person. Mm-hmm. And it's kind of like, okay, are those two separate people? Because they have different people that they like. They have different goals in life.
They're kind of the same person. I don't know.
And you never watched the end. Like, they no. He like full on shows up as a ghost.
Oh really?
Yeah, it's the dumbest shit ever.
Damn.
I like Golden Time, I really do, but the Ghost Bonnery is because that's the main character's name. I hate him. Yeah. It's like you had your time. You're dead.
You're dead.
It's the new guy's time to shine. All right.
I don't know. I kind of agree with him though. That lady's the best girl. Linda's best girl
over Coco.
Yeah.
How do we remember these names?
I just remember Linda because it's an English name.
It's either Linda or Rinda.
I think it's Linda.
Yeah. It's just, it's not her real name. It's a nickname, I believe.
I don't care.
Anyway. Enough about that.
Sorry.
Just something to think about with the dibs there. Just a little caveat.
So yeah, La Detective Está Muerta.
Yeah. They have that in the name. In Spanish for some reason. Because it sounds cool.
Pretty good. You should give it a watch. Yeah. Especially if you like detective stuff.
Yeah, give it a watch. I'm definitely going to watch more of it. I don't know if we're going to watch it together or separate or if I'm just going to watch it and you're not.
I don't know. I'll probably watch it.
Okay. Well, there's more episodes to catch. I think it comes out on Sundays.
Cool. I'm busy.
Okay. You're up next.
Yes. So the next show is Sonny Boy. So, Sonny Boy is a weird one. So the premise is school kids are sent through a different dimension. They like shift into a different dimension from like their school.
Yeah, their school comes with them.
Yeah, so they're basically in this black void in their school and with no way of knowing how to get out. And as this is happening, it's discovered that some of the kids have superpowers, like new powers.
Yeah.
And that this dimension they're in has specific rules.
Yeah.
Like, I think the school specifically, anything that, like, is destroyed in it repairs itself.
Yes. It's in like a stasis state where it will return to the state it was at when it transitioned. Including, like, the people in the school. They'll heal, given enough time.
So...
And then do you want to talk about the other rule the school has? Just as, like, an example of a more, like... That's, like, a... You know, that could be contrived as whatever. Okay. But... They have, like, another, like, a weirder rule where, you know, hey, they establish their own, like, rules, like, don't destroy school's property, don't do blank, don't do this, whatever. And then anyone who breaks those rules, you can say... Penalty. And then you can force them to do something as penalty for breaking that rule. And we thought it was just, like, one dude's power at first, and it was revealed that, it's anyone who breaks the rules can get a penalty.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, and then it's just them trying to figure out what's going on, all the rules that this place has, and, like, how to get out. At the end of the first episode, one of the characters basically jumps off the building, and then they land into another dimension. This one is basically just like an island.
Yeah.
With, like,
real
a huge
Lord
mountain
of the
on
Flies.
it. Yeah, and then with just an ocean.
And that island, they determine... Sorry, I keep butting in.
That's okay.
They determine that, like... There's different rules for the island versus the school.
Yeah,
so things stay broken on the island. They don't stay broken in the school. And they're like two like separate dimensions.
And then on the island, you can't take things without giving something in return. Because there's this one lady who's we think's power is like she can just
order things off of Amazon.
She can order anything on Amazon. It comes in right away. So she starts giving people these things, but then everything she gives, it bursts into flames.
Yeah, because it's like a... they're like, hey, you have to use your powers for the good of the people here. We need food. Well, the food stores in the school like keep replenishing too, so they can keep eating. Like we need tools. For building. We need X, Y, and Z. And she's like, okay, here you go. But they were not traded for.
Yes.
Which is kind of what they learn. They're like, hey, people are like suspecting that she's causing it as part of her power. She's causing the land on fire.
Hysteria
and she's like living in a castle all by herself that she ordered on Amazon. So she's like very
I gotta see if I can buy a castle on Amazon.
She's very removed from the process.
Yes.
Or from the rest of the people, so she kind of gets isolated. And the people in power, the student council, don't really like her for reasons that happened before the show started, which they kind of start getting into.
Yeah.
There was possibly I think she calls the student council elections rigged.
Yeah, which they were.
Yeah, I think they were.
Yeah,
and like she was like telling the truth, but they're like, you're slandering online, and they like punished like her favorite teacher or something that she probably had a crush on.
Oh yeah,
because
definitely like that teacher.
Oh yeah, definitely. Anyway, but then it's also revealed like that same episode they develop like a way of earning Bitcoins. One guy's
that's what it was, right? It's basically Bitcoin.
One guy uses his power to make an app on everybody's phone. That's like
that's
you earn money by working, and then you can use the money to
buy things.
To buy things.
It's capitalism.
Yeah. But then like she gives the main character like a hat. She's like, hey, thanks for helping me. He's like, well, what do you want? How much should this hat cost? She's like, no. I'm accepting nothing in return for the trade. So she can just give stuff to people and say, it's free. Like she can set the cost of it to be nothing. But they basically, people have got powers. Some of them are more noticeable than others. Like one of the main girl's powers is she like sees like a light and she's like, I know that's the way home, but like it's always
we don't know how to get
it's always like a foot away. Like, you move a foot and it moves a foot away. Like the main dude's power they think is he can move, he can find the different dimensions that
so
there's a whole bunch of other dimensions.
Is they're finding different dimensions.
You open up this weird school door and there's another dimension. That's
like one is in a toilet and it just seems like it's literal hell in the toilet.
But they, my theory on that is like, he just constantly doesn't want to be there. Like that's his character. He's like, it's bothersome to talk to people. I don't want to like be here. I want to be somewhere else. So you think it's just coincidence,
or do you think it's an actual power?
I think it's an actual power. Okay. I think his power comes from the fact that he doesn't want to be there. Okay. So he keeps making the portals to the other dimensions that they find.
Oh, okay. So he's making the portals, not finding them.
I think so.
Okay.
I think he is the cause of that. I think that's kind of what they say at the end of the third episode. Anyway, it's really like... I wrote down Paranoia, Lord of the Flies, Bad Game of Telephone, Lost...
Bad Game of Telephone.
Well,
I got it.
There's like the whole like rumor that she's causing the fires gets out of hand off of something that he said, and he's like, "No, don't like
stop.
Anyway, just that's not what I said. You're taking this the wrong way." And then suspicion builds, and it's very, very intriguing.
That is probably the best one. That's episode 2. I think was the best episode so far.
Yeah, and again, we've only seen the first 3, so I like episode 3. Episode 3's ending is a little weird. It's like, wait, what's going on?
Yeah, that guy's up to something.
Yeah, the student council, not the president.
Not the president. The, like, vice, I don't know what he is. He's a weird, creepy looking dude.
Oh, yeah. And, like, it's revealed that, like, oh, no, I heard a voice in my head saying that we're going to be tested right before this happened. And he's, like, he's very manipulative and very, like, on the surface cheerful, but, like, you can tell, like, the words that he says, he's intentionally phrasing them so they'll get taken the wrong way. But he can like say, well, no, I just said this. You can't put that on me. It's like the kind of guy you want to punch in the face.
Yeah, he's definitely a bad guy.
Yeah. But I don't know. I like the 2 main girl characters, the Amazon girl and the other girl who can.
Nozomi, who I have dibs on.
Yeah.
I think you have the other one.
I think, yeah, I definitely do.
So, just bringing up a random fact I found. You know the director of this show is the director of One Punch Man and Space Dandy?
Huh. This is Shinichiro Watanabe?
No. The director, not the writer.
Shinichiro Watanabe was the main director of Space Dandy.
Was he?
Yeah.
This guy might have been the main episode director then.
Okay. Well, like, a lot of episodes of Space Dandy are directed by guest directors. Okay. Especially season 2.
I just looked it
Anytime
up.
they have, like, a different art style. He
was, like, the series... I thought he said the series director of those two.
He was definitely... Shinichiro Watanabe is definitely more hands-off with Space Dandy than some of his other works. But he is the director of a lot of episodes. It's just... They had a lot of guest directors on, so...
IMDb lied to me.
I'd have to look into it, but... Shinichiro Watanabe is definitely the creator.
Oh, yeah. I didn't say creator. I said director.
I know. But a lot of times they're hand in hand. And I know he should be credited as the main director, but I don't know. I feel like half the episodes of Space Dandy are guest directed, so... You know, and that's how TV shows work. The creator doesn't direct every episode. So.
Thought I came in with a good fact and then you just ruin it.
Look, man, I like Space Dandy. We'll talk about that more later.
Oh, okay.
Sonny Boy. Okay, did Space Dandy? What was the other one?
One Punch Man.
One Punch Man. Okay, all right. This is definitely an interesting show. This is one of the best ones we watched, if not the best one that we watched.
We like weird stuff.
Yeah,
things that keep you thinking and guessing.
Yeah, I mean, I'm all for like turning your brain off and watching stuff fun too, because that's easy. Mm-hmm. But I like challenging stuff too. Like it's just like, okay, let me think. Hence, we talked earlier. We saw the Green Knight today. Yeah. Like that is not a. I would not call that a fun movie.
That is not a turn your brain off and just.
Yeah, that is a keep your brain on well after the movie.
Do not blink or you're going to miss something movie.
You say that. There's like a 2-minute long scene where we're just watching him ride a horse into the foreground.
Yeah, you don't want to miss a single thing.
Yeah. I like that movie. This is not a Green Knight podcast. Just coloring our commentary.
Okay. Okay, so Sonny Boy. Yeah, watch it.
Definitely a watch. We're gonna probably watch more of this weekend.
I'm busy.
You're not busy. This is your weekend. You're free. I'm busy the rest of this weekend. Okay.
So the next one is Peach Boy Riverside. Yeah. So, do you want to go into the synopsis first, or do you want to play our game?
Let's play our game. What did you think this show, based off of the name, what did you think this show was going to be?
Okay, so I guess caveat is this show that I'm describing is not going to be an anime, like a Japanese anime show. Okay. But when I think of the title, Peach Boy Riverside, I almost think of kind of like a Rocket Power type of show. It's specifically the character Sam, who's like the Shubi.
Squibby? Shubi.
Yeah. So it's like Peach Boy Riverside is about a guy like him who's from like the Midwest, doesn't know anything, he's like a real nerd, moves to like Orange County, California, and just befriends a bunch of like surfer dudes. They call him Peach Boy because he's like soft or something, or from like the Midwest.
That is so weird.
Yeah.
That is not what I got at all.
That's what I got. That's what I think of when I think of Peach Boy Riverside.
So I have to have a caveat. I saw like clips of like a fight scene from this show. I saw the part of the walrus fight scene in this show.
Okay.
Which is a weird thing to say. I realize. Yeah. So like I knew a little bit about what this was before we got into it, but just hearing the name, I thought it would be like a boys love show or something like that. He's a Peach Boy. I thought that would be like a term for like a boys love thing. I don't know.
Okay,
I'm like,
I got it.
But
we went two different directions on that title.
Yeah, definitely. I don't know, because peaches are vulnerable.
Yeah, they're like soft. They're easily bruised.
Yeah. Like, quoting Elf, Andy Richter's character is like, he's got a story in here about a peach. What's more vulnerable than a peach? But we should talk about this show. This is me talking about this. I know I kind of hijacked Sonny Boy, but
that's fine.
I had to look up what this show is based off of because it just assumes that you know the old Japanese folktale. Okay. Which, to be fair, if we lived in Japan, we might.
Yes.
It'd be like basing a show off of Red Riding Hood or whatever. Like
Paul Bunyan.
Yeah. But there is a story in Japanese folklore about an elderly couple who found a giant peach like floating down a river.
Okay.
And then they took it home and they're like, "Hey, we're gonna have this giant peach for supper." And they go to cook the peach, and they hear a voice inside that says, "Hey, don't cook the peach. Let me out of here." And they open it up, and there's a baby inside. And then they.
What's up with Japanese folktales always having babies and things?
Yeah, it's very the tale of Princess Kaguya in here. But anyway, they open it up. There's a baby or a little kid or something inside. They raise the kid. Mm-hmm. When the kid is 14 or 15 or something, he's like, "Hey, I'm gonna go do good in the world. I'm gonna go fight the Onis on their island. There's like an island filled with Onis, demons, ogres, whatever you want to call them. They kidnap people. Yeah. And I'm going to journey to that island and defeat them to help people." And then like along the way, he meets like a dog, and then he befriends the dog, and then he meets like a couple of other animals, and the animals that he meets always they always like try to fight like the other animal companions he has first, and then they befriend each other, and like they have to learn to work together or whatever. And it's like a whole like big metaphor about rallying your forces and like getting people that normally wouldn't get along to follow you for a greater good, sort of thing. Okay. And then, and that's pretty much the end of the story. He goes to the island, he beats them up until they like say we'll stop being bad people. So this show takes that as a, hey, here's this premise that we're all familiar with. What if Peach Boy is like, it's asking two what if questions. What if Peach Boy really liked killing the Onis and got a taste for it and wants to kill all the Onis in the world now? Mm-hmm. And also, what if he's not the only Peach Boy? What if he's just one? And there could be like a whole civilization that come down, the river or whatnot. So we follow another Peach Boy, though it's a Peach Girl, that is looking for the original Peach Boy. Mm-hmm. And then, she runs into, she befriends like a rabbit person.
Rabbit girl.
That people are racist against because they're like, monster folk or whatever. Yeah. But she's like, no, she's fine. She just likes eating carrots. Yeah. She's loyal now. I've tamed her with carrots. And then like they kill an Oni, and then there's two Onis that attack like a major settlement, and I'm just gonna call her Peach Girl because
I didn't write down names.
Yeah, I've got nicknames for people. Okay.
Actually, I wrote down one name.
Anyway, she like at one point when they're fighting or when they're being fought, like it takes her a while, but like she just enters like a murderous rampage and kills them.
I don't know if she like can control it, if she can't control it, or like she tries not to like unleash it.
Yeah. Anyway, she doesn't remember doing that. Okay. Is the thing. So I nicknamed her Murder Amnesia. Oh
yeah, you told me that.
Yeah. I nicknamed the rabbit girl Bunny Girl. That's not sexy. She's just a little. Her character design is a little off-putting.
A little bit.
One of the original Peach Boy shows up at that point, and he like destroys the horn. What?
Hot Shrek.
No. I'm talking about the other Peach Boy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. He destroys Hot Shrek's. Which is, they use the term ogre in the subtitles. So, Shab, a lot of our nicknames are just Shrek derived. I called her Useless Oni Girl because she's very powerful, but after the Peach Boy meets her and he just cuts off her horn and like stabs her eye out, which are she looks human other than those two parts. She's basically powerless after that, so he can leave her alive, sort of thing. They like befriend her. And then they befriend like a town guardsman too.
Hawthorne.
Yeah. They break out of jail. They break the Oni girl out of jail because they feel sorry for her. Mm-hmm. And then as they're escaping town, the Hawthorne is following them, saying like, "Hey, you can't just break out of jail."
Yeah.
And they right behind him, the whole town gets destroyed.
Whole town is obliterated.
Yeah. By some other Oni that we don't see.
And they immediately cut to him just having a hell of a time.
Yeah.
Weirdest cut I've ever seen, I think.
Yeah. But it is implied that that the original Peach Boy, he doesn't like stick around to like, you know, even though the girl is looking for him, Peach Girl is looking for him, he doesn't stick around. He's like, it's kind of cramping my style. I need to go do this stuff.
Yeah. Got to kill some more ogres.
Yeah. But he kills. It's revealed he kills the ogre that destroyed that town.
Yeah.
And like the ogres have like a meeting, and they're like, there's even less of us. This one dude is kind of like, there's some people that are kind of like, maybe we should make peace with the humans, sort of thing. And this one dude is like, oh yeah, I'm definitely all about that. You can kind of tell that he's got some ulterior motives going on.
You talking about like the priest dude?
Yeah.
Priest looking guy?
Yeah, the guy who's dressed as a priest.
Okay.
Like, he looks like superhuman.
Yeah.
Superhuman. He looks very human.
He looks like a human.
Yeah. But he's like a super powerful Oni. And you can tell he's got other, machinations going on. Machinations going on. He's got plans. Plans inside plans.
Plans inside plans.
I don't trust him.
What is this, Inception?
Yeah. I don't trust him. But,
Of course you don't trust him. He's an ogre.
Yeah. Oh, I trust useless ogre girl.
Oh yeah, Sexy Shrek is pretty.
I trust her. She's like, she keeps being like, puny humans, I will destroy you, and having no powers. I'm interested. I'll watch more. I don't think it's quite up there with. I think it's like Sonny Boy and maybe one other show are like really up there as I really like this. Whereas I would put this more maybe. I mean, we're going to rate these at the end. I put it slightly below The Detective Is Already Dead.
So. I did not enjoy this one that much.
Okay.
First of all, fantasy is not my subject, really. I don't really watch fantasy that much. I don't really care for it. And I just had some issues with some of like the editing and stuff. I don't know.
I don't know. I'm going to give it a little bit more of a shot.
I just feel like it's not, it's like just...
It feels pretty standard.
It feels disjointed to me.
Okay. I don't know. I think it feels just a little like, okay, this story is going to be, something I've seen a million times with different, different clothing. So
yeah, it just didn't pique my interest, I guess.
There is another ogre that's wearing a nun outfit. I called her Nun Shrek.
Nun Shrek?
Yeah.
Okay.
I couldn't think of a better name, so I stole your Shrek naming convention because I didn't have a Shrek naming convention. So.
I don't have any other nicknames. I just have.
Oh, and the original Peach Boy reminds me of one guy from Kino's Journey. That's the only other note I have about this, because he's got a dog and a sword.
My one note was Shrek is a nun.
Yeah, Peach Boy Riverside. Not necessarily a watch. I'll probably watch a little bit more of it and see.
I'll probably drop it.
That's fair. It's your turn now.
So next up is Remake Our Life. This show is about a 28-year-old, I guess loser probably isn't the right term, but
nah, he's
down on his luck.
I wouldn't call him loser, but he has failed.
Yeah, failure. 28-year-old failure.
Which he didn't really fail due to his own efforts. Like, it's just...
He's a 28-year-old. He went to university, got a regular job, but then switched to, like, a video game job. Yeah. Gets fired, like, let go, and then he had to move back into with his parents, and then he's basically just, like, wishing I wish I would have went to art school instead of regular university.
Because he got accepted into both, and he decided... I'm not cut out to be a creative. I'm going to go get a steady job. And then he ended up quitting his steady job to go be a creative, and it didn't work out. And he's like, if I had put all my time and resources into being a creative at that time, would I be like all of like the
platinum generation?
Yeah, like these legendary game developers or whatever, creatives are like, they're all basically the same age as me. Like if I could have been among them if I would have possibly apply myself.
He's like, I wish I would have done that. Yeah. Then he goes to sleep. And then he just wakes up as an 18-year-old. And he's just like, I'm going to do it. I'm going to go to art school instead. And that's what happens. That's the show.
Yeah. He starts the visual arts program at some art school. He's sharing a house with... 3
other dudes?
No. 2 girls and 1 dude. Oh, sorry. Dude's gender neutral.
They're
2 girls,
dudes.
1 guy.
We're all dudes.
I know. We're living in a society, though, that doesn't realize dude is gender neutral yet, so we have to be specific. There's some romance subplots sort of developing.
A little bit.
There's
So let's see. Try to do this in order. So he goes to art school. We just kind of go with their daily lives. They're all going to school. They all kind of seem to have like their own niche. Like one is.
Do you say niche or do you say niche?
I say niche.
I say
Sorry.
niche.
No, it's niche. I said it wrong.
Okay. No, it's all right.
Like one is like a writer. The other one's like an artist. The other one seems like an actor. And then the main guy whose name is Kyoya. Kyoya?
I didn't write any notes down for this.
Kyouya.
Kyouya. Yeah, Kyoya.
Kyoya.
I guess.
It's kind of like a production guy. He does like editing and stuff.
Yeah. Because he's kind of like, I think he's kind of the everyman.
Yeah.
Because that's how animes work. Your protagonist is the everyman.
Mm-hmm. But anyways, we go through the school life. He's going to school. His old boss goes to this school.
Yeah. Because when he back in his old life, when he joined a games company or a team in a games company, that team that went under his boss is in like same age in the school with him, and she's like a prodigy.
He calls her chief.
Yeah.
It's like, what? What'd you call me?
Not in any like clubs or anything. Why'd you call me chief? He's like, oh, sorry. Here's your ID back that you dropped. But she's not living with them. But yeah, and the first arc or whatever is they have to make a movie, like a short 3-minute film from their class, and they mess up in the.
They also have like creative differences.
Yeah, they have creative differences that they have to resolve. There's a whole thing where the guy comes up with the story premise, and the guy who is the writer in the group is like, "Hey, I need to talk to you. Like, this is like an idea for a story I wrote like a couple of years ago that I had in my room." And he looks at it and is like, "This is the exact same premise."
It's like, crap, I read this in like a short story once. This could be his art. It's like, I gotta be careful.
Yeah, he read it in a he's super worried about we were making the jokes that is like, man, he could write this, he could like there's so many things that he could create, like that he could
write Avatar. He could write, I don't know, Hunger Games.
Yeah, because he's back in 2006 and he has knowledge of 2016. But he's like super worried about it. He's like I feel like I've stolen something from him because I read this short story, you know, that was published after this point in time and got the idea for it. Like unconsciously, it just kind of came, just something I like. Oh, hey, this is a quaint idea, and didn't realize, which I'm sure happens a lot.
I mean,
in real life.
Yeah, it happens in real life all the time. People have the same ideas,
and people have the same ideas that they don't realize. Oh wait, no, I didn't come to this independently.
It's just with him. It's like he's got to be careful because he does have knowledge of the future. Yeah,
and part of the thing is that he's like, okay, I've got these 10 extra years of experience. I kind of know how to do a lot of stuff in the game industry. I've got experience in the game industry. Yeah. This can kind of help me give an edge. But he realizes, like, I mean, these people are really smart. Like, I can't just like coast off of that 10-year edge.
So there's a good possibility, like some of the stuff he knows isn't invented yet. Like there could be like some editing software that he knows really well.
I swear there's a tool to do this. Adobe Premiere Pro. Where is it? It should be under extras.
I did all my programming in C++, but it's only C right now. I don't know how programming works, but it's like stuff like that.
But C++ is fairly old.
It's like I only know like JavaScript version 5. They're only on version 1.
Yeah, they've got it. I'm writing codes that work in HTML5, but we're still working only in HTML. Yeah. I don't know when stuff came out. I've got a very limited programming knowledge. I've got a lot more knowledge than you in programming because I have a minor in computer science. But
we haven't run into that yet. But I kind of hope they do that. It's like, well, crap, I don't know how to do this. I know the new stuff.
Yeah. He does learn that one of his roommates is one of the platinum generations. Like his favorite artist. He sees her working on like an art piece that he would have on his phone. He's like, oh shit, I just put this together. That's you. Like. I guess they use an alias, and it's not like you know what people look like. Yeah. And, you know, like I like directors, but that doesn't mean I know what they look like or whatever. You know.
But that's basically the show.
Yeah.
No, they make their movie, but there's a mess up with their equipment, so they have to.
Yeah, they have a regular camera instead of a video camera.
Yeah.
so they like make a movie using still life photos at the same spot, which like people are really impressed by, but it was obviously unintentional, and it was like super. It was a super artsy move.
Chief goes up to like her sister.
Yeah, because her sister is.
Why did this rank less than us? And she's just like, well, it wasn't part of the assignment really because it wasn't a video. It was just pictures. And also, it was improvised. They didn't mean to do it. So we took a couple points.
This was not like a choice that they made. This is not like what they wanted to say. Mm-hmm. So they, but it's whatever. It's a very...
Yeah.
I'm interested. I want to keep watching it. It's
I really
kind of slice of lifey, kind of romancy, and...
I'm a sucker for like time travel stuff. So
Okay. Well, yeah.
Anything time travel, I'm like, I'll give this a shot.
Yeah. No, it's good. I like it. I like it so far.
So a couple of notes I want to bring up. Were you noticing like that Your Name piano thing at the beginning of some stuff? It's like, I can't do it now. There's this one piano piece that just plays quite a few times. It just reminds me of the Your Name piano parts.
I'll be honest with you. I'm really bad at picking out sound design stuff like that. Unless a background song is like very like oh, this is like super intense, or it has lyrics or something. I really don't notice it, which I think just means that it's doing its job right, because it's getting me like, I'm so hyper fixed on the atmosphere of the show that I'm not really noticing the individual pieces of it. I don't know. I'm just not good at picking it up.
Reminded me of the piano pieces in Your Name.
Yeah, I didn't pick it up. Sorry, man.
That's okay. Well, I'm just a little disappointed now.
You should know this. I'm not good at picking up music cues.
There was our friend Joe from Digimon Dig.
That was in Sonny Boy.
That was in Sonny Boy?
Yeah. There's a guy who catalogs the superpowers, and he definitely looks like Joe from Digimon.
No, there's a part where it's like, I don't want to be the guy who makes plans and then ditches everything.
Oh, yeah. Because Joe's notoriously bad at not showing up when he says he's going to show up.
So they're like, I don't want to be that guy. And
I think he's better at it now that we're not constantly trying to get him to show up every night in our apartment.
Just brought it up. It was funny.
Yeah.
And then the last note I have is Flashback to the Future.
I came up with that.
I know. I thought it was good.
I wrote a flashback
of the future.
Happens in the future.
So it was a flashback to the future.
Yeah.
We're gonna copyright that.
Sounds like Back to the Future, but everyone's nude.
What? No.
He's flashing.
No, that'd be flashing back to the future.
Oh, okay.
This is just a flashback to the future.
Which show are we talking about next? It's one of mine. Girlfriend?
Yes.
Okay. This show, I thought it would be better. I don't know. This guy's got a cute girlfriend, and then this other girl asks him out, and he's like, I'm sorry, I've got a girlfriend.
But you're really cute.
But, I don't want to, disregard your feelings. Let's go ask my girlfriend.
It's not even that. It's like, but damn, you're cute.
I really want to date you right now. He's like, I can't lie. I'm very attracted to you. And it's partially, he's very attracted to her, which is fine. You can be attracted to other people when you're dating someone. And then, his quote-unquote altruistic reason is, you put so much work into this, I don't want to just, say that your work is for nothing. Let's go ask my girlfriend if she'll let me date both of you. And he goes and begs, and he's like, I'm fully prepared for you both to not date me because of this. But she eventually shoot my shot. She eventually says, okay, we can try it. Especially because she really likes the girl too. She's like, oh, she's so cute, I want to date her. And he's like, well, about that. And then he's like, well, I live by myself, so why don't you guys both move in with me?
To keep it fair, let's just live together.
And they make a pact, okay, no sexy stuff because we don't want people getting too jealous of it, sort of thing. People's feelings hurt because you went this far with one person, and just leads to favoritism or whatnot. Who's more willing to give it up, sort of thing. Doesn't want to lead down that road.
Spoiler alert, they both are.
Yeah, they both want it. The first girlfriend is a little more hesitant. It's got to be the right mood, and it's got to be something special, sort of thing.
She almost suggested it out of desperation.
Yeah.
The other girl's just like, I'll do it.
Yeah. The other girl's like, yeah, whatever you want.
Yeah. It's I'm subservient. I'll do whatever you want.
There's like the first girlfriend starts to feel inadequate because
she can't cook or clean or.
Yeah, she doesn't cook. She's like, she's shit at chores, so she's like, I'm not gonna do any of the chores. I'm shit at it. And they're both just like, okay. They're like, they don't bring it up at all. They're not like, why is she never doing her chores? Type of thing. But then she starts to be like, oh shit, I'm the leech here. So she like tries to use like all I've got is my body, and she like forces him to grab her boob, and he's like, nah, I promised I want to do this. I can't do this. And then she runs away to her home, just right next to their home. Just their neighbor. And like the whole like third episode is like him desperately trying to get her to talk to him about what's going on, and she keeps avoiding him. I don't know. I'll probably keep watching it, but it's not as funny as I wanted it to be, and not as romantic as I wanted it to be.
I'm gonna be honest. I zoned out the second and third episode because there's some baseball news happening that I was following rather than watching the show. But I did not. I hated this show. I absolutely hate this show. The guy's a piece of shit.
So, I'm not condoning polyamorism. I think that's what that's called. But I just want you to consider, and we talked about this.
We talked about it, and I get it. But that's not the issue. The issue is the guy's a piece of shit.
Okay, yeah.
It's him going, I love you. I will do anything for you. And then the lady comes up, and he's like, well, actually, I want to date her too.
Yeah.
It wasn't even like, hey, I'm just going to throw this out there. If you don't want to, it's fine. We won't do anything. And then it's done. But he tells her, it's like, I was going to date her behind your back. But I didn't. Because I want to be a good man. But if you say no, I'm going to date her. I'm going to date her behind your back. So...
I don't remember that exact phrasing, but you're probably right.
It happened.
Yeah. Anyway, the one again. I'm not condoning polyamorous relationships. I don't know if they work, if they don't work. I don't know. I'm not taking a side in that issue. But the one thing I could think that it would, how I can make sense of it, I guess, how I can rationalize it, is if you're married to someone you love. And they die, you still love them, but it's fine if you fall in love with somebody else and you get remarried. It doesn't mean you love your dead wife less. It doesn't mean you love your alive wife less. You might, depending on what type of person you are, you might favorite one over the other sort of thing. But there are two separate loves in your life that you can have where you are in love with both of those people at the same time.
Okay.
Now just imagine your first wife never died.
Okay.
And that's kind of how I can rationalize that.
All right.
That relationship. Again,
Guy's still
I don't know
scumbag.
if it works.
It's just not with like him having two girlfriends. It's just the guy, and honestly, the second girlfriend because she's like changes her entire personality.
Yeah, which I think they hint at a reason like she knew him in middle school something, and like because there's a flashback she has where they're wearing middle school.
Yeah, it's a flashback. She's wearing glasses, so she's like, I gotta lose weight. I gotta learn how to cook. I gotta clean. I gotta drop out of school so I can learn all this stuff. Just so that I can ask to be your boyfriend.
Yeah. No, there's. I don't know.
This show just.
I want to give the show a little bit more of a chance.
No. And also, there's going to be two more girls.
Yeah.
So is he gonna like have 4 girlfriends?
I don't know, Ben. I don't know.
Why are there so many triangles?
The opening just has a lot of triangles in it. We made the Weezer reference because there was a pink triangle around one of them, and it's like
Why is it called the love triangle? The triangle doesn't connect. It's not a complete triangle.
Well, I mean, I feel like that's ideally where a polyamorous relationship would go to, is that they're all in love with each other. It's
there's no connection.
It's a love angle.
A love angle. It's an acute love angle.
I mean, it could be obtuse. Just the way that you drew the dots that we're looking at right there make it.
You're right.
It's an angle. It's got 3.
It's a love angle, not triangle. Angle.
Anyway, there's room they're definitely setting up that the two girls could connect to each other.
Okay. I don't like it.
Okay, that's Ben. It's fine. All right, you don't like it. I get it. I'm gonna give the show a little bit more of a chance. Maybe, I don't know. The last time we did this sort of thing, we said we were gonna watch a bunch of stuff, and then we only watched like 2 of them. So,
next one we watched is the great Jahy Will Not Be Defeated.
Yeah,
we only watched the first episode because that's all that was out when we started it.
Yeah,
it's kind of boring.
Yeah, it's just a comedy. Like she's a demon lord, but then the source of all her magic powers is fragmented and destroyed. And she
falls to Earth,
falls to the human realm. She's got enough of a power so that she can not look like a little girl for like her shift at work. Mm-hmm. She's got to earn money and collect the rest of the.
She's broke. Whatever.
Yeah, I think people really like the manga because it's just like a lot of like me IRL stuff that I see. Yeah. I'm subscribed to the subreddit Anime IRL. Okay. They take moments in anime that are like, yeah, I relate. I'm bored too. So I feel like it's got room to be funny, but it didn't really hook me. It's
Maybe we should watch next two just to see if something builds up. But from my impression,
because there's a whole bunch of characters that like. The girl who shattered the crystal is going to show up. So there might be like some fun characters that we like.
Oh, that shows up, I think. But yeah. So, I don't know. But comedies, I think, have to like grab you the first episode. And this one just did not grab me.
Yeah. Well, but to be fair, Nagatoro is a comedy and you didn't like the first episode of that.
That is true.
So it could just be that the characters you like haven't come along or it hasn't like shown you what the show is actually going to be, or like shown you what it could be because it hasn't had any really good bits yet. Okay. I wanted to note in both Remake Our Life and Jahy-sama Won't Be Discouraged, each of us called dibs on people, and it ended up that we split a pair of sisters in half.
Yeah.
We're like, it's the ideal situation. We get married to a pair of sisters, and we can still live together.
That's what my dad did.
Yeah.
That's what my mom did.
Your mom got married to a pair of sisters?
No, my mom and her sister married brothers.
Yeah.
And then my dad and my uncle married sisters.
Yeah. We could finally be family if we married sisters, Ben.
Yeah.
We'd be brothers-in-law.
Brothers-in-law.
I think that's still like brothers-in-law, wouldn't it be?
I guess. I don't know.
It's like, it's my wife's brother-in-law.
It's like technicalities.
Yeah. Yeah. We can show up to family parties and play board games with each other.
Boom.
It's done. Ideal situation there.
All right. So that's, again, we only watched the first episode, so we don't have much to talk about on this one, but.
And we're back.
The next one we were going to go through is the one that you watched by yourself / I watched 10 minutes of.
Yeah.
It's called Duke of Death and his Maid.
Or something like that.
Or something like that.
Yeah. Animation is really weird on this. It kind of looks like a really bad episode of Ruby in the animation style.
Yeah, it's like seasons 1 and 2 Ruby.
Yeah, but like seasons 1 and 2 of Ruby had the advantage of having some really cool choreography and stuff. Yeah. And this is just a awkward, you're like, okay. Anyway, the premise of the show, this teenage kid, when he was 5 or something, he was cursed by a witch, so that everything he touches dies. His family shuns him to live on their country estate or whatever. He's got a maid, and we don't meet this other guy in the first episode, but he's got a butler too.
Oh, okay.
The maid is super horny on Maine for him, and like keeps like he's like, don't get close to me, I'll accidentally kill you. The butler is basically blind. Like he can do his job really well and like catch like vases that are falling just because he's like super familiar with the house, but he's just like he like mistakes a cat for the master. He's like, why are you running around on all fours, master?
Why are you licking yourself?
Oh, and I picked you up. I guess you're not my master because I'm not dead. I didn't think about that. I don't know. And it's like he's like, yeah, I definitely have feelings for you, but I can't touch you. And it's just, I don't know. It's whatever. Yeah. She keeps getting closer and closer to death every episode.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's just like, I'll only help you up, or they're like on a boat ride on a lake, about to watch like in a rowboat, about to watch this is more of a pond than a lake, about to watch like a meteor shower, and she falls out of the boat, and he's like, I can't help you up into the boat because I'll kill you if I touch you. Like even if he even through clothing, like he wears gloves and long sleeves, but he'll like still kill flowers or whatever if I touch them. And then she's like, well, then you should kiss me. I really want you to kiss me. And he's like, no. Is that really what you want? And she's like, yes. And then he comes super close to doing it, and he's like, nope, I can't. And then she uses that as a distraction to like tip the boat over so that he has to get wet too, like just as a fun prank or whatever. I don't know. Anyway, I watched 3 episodes of it. I'm dropping it. I don't really care.
Okay.
I wanted to drop it after like 1.5 episodes. I wanted to drop it after 1 episode.
Why doesn't he just touch himself?
I don't think it works like that.
Maybe it doesn't work like that. Everything he touches dies.
Yeah, and he's always touching himself because he is himself.
Okay.
His blood vessels are touching his muscles, and his skin is touching.
But to reveal that like he can secretly like control who he kills and stuff with it. So he just like means to kill everything. Know what I mean? It's like he touches her and he's like, "Huh, you didn't die." Oh shit! What does that mean?
It means I've been intentionally killing people. I don't know. I feel like the show is going to go to a place where like he's got to break the curse somehow by
True Love's first kiss.
Yeah, like because I don't think he's ever killed a human.
Oh, that's disappointing.
Maybe like he kills plant life and maybe like animals and stuff. So he's like, well, I don't want to accidentally kill a human. I don't know. I only watched 3 episodes. It might be revealed later on that he's killed a human accidentally. I don't know. I never see his dad. I don't think I see his dad.
Didn't they say he killed somebody in the first episode?
I don't know.
Like kill an ant or something? Not a bug, like a relative ant?
I don't know if he did or not. I don't remember that happening.
Maybe that was just me.
Anyway, I don't like this one.
Okay.
That's it. The Duke of Death is Maid. So it's just it's there's no satisfaction. It's romance with no satisfaction. They can't.
Oh yeah.
They can't. They can voice affection for each other.
I guess if you like teasing, maybe.
Yeah. It's like it's edging, and I don't like it. I don't like edging. Quit it. Just do something alright. Okay. I say that I really like Nagatoro, and that's just teasing.
Yeah, but Senpai doesn't kill Nagatoro if he touches her.
Yeah. And there's the manga. There's things there are things happening.
Yeah.
Gears are turning. People are talking. Don't watch Duke of Death and His Maid.
All right.
Or do whatever.
So,
I'm not your dad.
The last one we're talking about is the one that I watched by myself called Kageki Shoujo. So this is about a performance art school for girls.
Okay.
It's this really famous, I guess technically theater.
Okay.
That they have a school that train people to go into this theater group that is all female. It's an all female theater group, and it's a very prestigious group. And it's just like high schoolers / like college. There's a
university and a high school that you would like go. You would transition.
It's just you apply for it and then you're selected. But it's the youngest character that I know of / the main character is 15, and there's like a first year in her class that's 18.
Okay.
So it's not technically like a universe. Well, I don't know. Anyways.
Yeah, it doesn't have a typical school structure. You can be put in.
So if we have
it's a school, but it's not like a public school. 2
main characters. There's Sarasa, who is a starry-eyed, really tall student.
Okay.
She's listed as 5'10". Based on my calculations, is more like 7. So I don't know.
The centimeters.
Yeah.
Calculated. Okay.
It was Google though, so I could be wrong, but whatever. Anyways, she's tall. That's her thing, is she's really tall and lanky. But anyways, she dreams to play this specific character in this specific play. It's like the best role, the highest role somebody can play goes to like the top student. So she's basically aiming to be the top student there.
Yeah.
So she can play this character. And then there's another character called Ai Narita. She is a former Idol member, like star.
Yeah.
Who has a lot of childhood trauma and basically hates men and specifically is going to the school to get away from men. Okay. It's an all-girls school.
I get it. You go, girl.
Because third episode is like a flashback to her life, and yeah, I can see why she hates men. I don't want to give it away, but she has reasons for her beliefs on men.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's like a slice of life.
They're men.
Yeah.
I don't know. We're terrible people.
Anyways, but she's very distant, has no friends, very quiet, and the other Sarasa's outgoing, very nice, tries to be friends with anybody, and it's just a slice of life slice of life, just about their school life and everything. I enjoyed it. I thought it was pretty good. If you're looking for that type of slice of life, a little bit of darkness, because
just the hints you've been given.
Yeah. Okay. You should give it a watch. I think I'm going to keep watching it. I really like it.
Okay.
I also like just shows about things I don't know a whole lot about.
That's fair. Yeah. It's kind of like watching How Did This Get Made or
yeah, it's like watching a show about Kabaddi. It's like, I don't know anything about Kabaddi. I'm going to learn some stuff. Or
what's that show? It was on like the History Channel where they would like this is how this product gets made, and it goes to like the factory and stuff.
How did this get made?
Is that what that is?
It's not on History Channel, but yeah.
I thought How Did This Get Made was
that's like sci-fi, podcast. Like science. I think it's a bunch of different things, but there's a TV show.
Okay.
That does that type of stuff.
Or like Micro's Dirty Jobs or something. It's just like, interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know that that's what that's like.
I'm talking about more just like slice of life stuff where it's like, oh, this is like a Japanese, like Chihara Furu. It's like, I don't know anything about that game, but it's interesting to like learn about.
Furu is, but that's also like, that's a sports anime, so it's got like a lot of shonen tropes of getting better and progressing. True. And there's also a lot of romance in that show, which is why I like Chihara Furu. I don't know. I'm not a super big like slice of life show. I'm not a super big fan of cute girls doing cute things show. I just kind of find them boring. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. Maybe I just haven't found the right one. Maybe I haven't tried enough of like I've never watched K-On! It's never really been.
I guess I haven't watched a whole lot either. But the ones I've watched, like this one and was it Yuru Camp? Kind of like that. I've enjoyed.
Yuru Camp. I like Yuru Camp, but I think that's just because I like camping.
Yeah.
But maybe, I don't know. It's just maybe we'll give it another shot. I might wait until you've watched more of it, and if you tell me, like, hey, this is really really good, you're gonna like this, then. Because we don't tech. There's a lot of things that we don't like. We like a lot of the same things, but there's a lot of things that we're like, this is not really my thing, but it is your thing, or it's not really your thing, but it's my thing. So
yeah. And again, I don't watch a whole lot of anime. So
well, I mean, this whole podcast is me trying to get you to watch more anime.
Yeah, that's why we did this, so I could watch more anime.
Okay,
but, so those were our impressions on those
8 shows. I'm sure there are other shows we didn't watch. I know there are other shows we didn't watch. Let me know. Let us know on our. I'm not trying to close up the show, but the perfect time to plug our Twitter. Okay. Tweet at us at anime_territory to let us know if there are other shows this season that are worth catching up on and watching. I might still, because I'm on Reddit every day. I might.
By the time this episode comes out, season's probably gonna be over with. But
it's gonna be like half over with. So let's. I know you're hosting this episode, but let's move on to ranking what we watched.
Okay.
So we're ranking the
shows.
Six that we saw together, and then if you want to say where you would put the show that you saw separately.
I got you.
So that we can, because our lists are not going to agree at least one point, which they might not still agree.
I got you.
I would put at number 6, Jahy-sama Won't Be Discouraged. What are you putting at number 6?
I have it at 7, Jahy-sama. Okay. I added the one of that.
You added your one. So yours is at 6. So ignore your 1, and then we'll say later where we put your 1. Or sorry, ignore the one that you watched by yourself.
Okay.
Remove that from the equation.
All right.
And then afterwards, say where you're going to insert it at.
Okay.
So we can see if we agree.
I got you.
You know, and then.
So my number 6 then would be Jahy-sama.
Okay. So we're agreeing that's probably the weakest one that we watched. My number 5 is Girlfriend.
That is my number 5.
Okay.
Girlfriend times 2.
Yeah. My number 4 is Peach Boy Riverside.
That's my number 4.
Okay. My number 3 is The Detective Is Already Dead.
That's my number 3.
Okay. This is where I think we're going to separate.
I think we're going to separate here.
My number 2 is Remake Our Life, and my number 1 is Sonny Boy.
Mine is opposite. I have Sonny Boy number 2 and Remake Our Life number 1.
And that is fair.
Yes.
I think
those are, I think, the best shows we've watched so far, and Detective is a clear 3.
Yeah. I think we're in agreement there. Now, I would throw The Duke of Death and his Maid. Honestly, I would throw that 7. I would throw that last.
Okay. So I would throw mine, Kageki Shoujo, number 4.
Number
below
4.
Detective, above Peach Boy.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, again, from what you've said about it, that makes sense there. Mm-hmm. So we agree in our top 3. The top 2 orders switch, but that's respectable.
Yeah.
So we're definitely going to be watching Sonny Boy and Remake Our Life. I'm definitely going to be watching The Detective Is Already Dead.
I probably will too.
But that's our thoughts on this season.
Yep. So that's the show. So next episode will be. Is it season 2?
Yeah, next episode will be season 2 of Cookie Geass. We need to talk about my number 5 though.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, it's all right. I always forget it every week too.
Your number 5 top anime.
Yeah, number 5 top anime, as hinted at previously, is Space Dandy.
Space Dandy.
I don't know what to say about this show. It's crazy. It's funny. It's got a great dub. The dub premiered before the sub by maybe only like a couple of hours or something, but it world premiere was on Toonami. I was in college. I bonded with our friend Table over it. He really liked at least the first season. I don't know if he ever watched season 2. It's just, I don't know. It's like it's kind of like Cowboy Bebop in that they're having adventures in space, but instead of like Spike Spiegel being cool and action figure, Space Dandy is like, he's got good choreography for like slipping and sliding and running away.
It's almost like this isn't a great analogy, but it's like almost let's take Cowboy Bebop but make it Rick and Morty style.
Okay.
Just like off the walls comedy or like antics.
And the thing about Space Dandy is continuity doesn't matter until it does at the very last episode.
Oh yeah.
Because like they all die in the first episode.
They do all die in the first episode.
And then they show up in the second episode and they're like, they don't even talk about it. But then like there's a point in like season 2 when they're like, hey, remember when we died that one time? There's a couple of times. They all turn into zombies at one point. And that's just the whole universe turns into zombies on like episode 4. And then it's never brought up again. But then they kind of tie it up in the last episode. And there's like a multiverse.
Yeah.
Always the same person.
Triangle Dandy.
That's not the last episode. That's the other multiverse episode. But I don't know. It's just, I like the characters in it a lot. Great dub performances. I refuse to watch the sub. Maybe I should at some point. I spent like $100 on the season 1 like Aloha Oi Blu-ray box set that came with Space Dandy's belt buckle and a hat, which I lost that hat. I don't know what happened to that hat.
You lost the hat? I don't remember the hat.
It might have been like taken by a college roommate.
Dale?
No.
Oh. No,
the college roommate that nobody really liked.
Oh, Dale.
No. This is before you lived with me.
Okay.
This is after one of our roommates moved out first semester, and this guy who was previously living in a single apartment decided to, because our apartment, it was on campus apartment, so we couldn't control who our roommates were. So it's like, okay, are we gonna have an empty, this 2-person bedroom? Is it gonna have an empty, just one person in it? And they're like, no, this one guy decided he didn't want to spend all the money on the private apartment anymore, so he's now your roommate. And he was fine. We kind of knew him from around. Mm-hmm. He was on our wing or whatever. And he was fine until he just kind of like got on everyone's nerves. And the guy, he just kept bringing more laundry. Like, he never did laundry. He just kept piling up laundry.
How much clothes does this guy have?
I don't know. A lot, apparently. I didn't go into the room too often, but I feel really bad for our roommate, our other friend, Ben, Big Ben, who had to live with him, had to share a room with him. I, told him what he ate one of our roommates had, a Haagen-Dazs ice cream thing or something in the freezer, and he's like, I told him, that's Neil's. I specifically remember Neil saying, hey, this is my ice cream. And I'm like, okay. And it's like, that is Neil's. Why are you eating it? And he was drunk one day. He's like, no, this is mine. I'm pretty sure I bought this. I'm like, no, that's Neil's.
It says Neil right there.
Well, it doesn't say Neil.
I was making a joke.
But, and then Neil came back. He's like, where's my ice cream? I'm like, dude, I tried to stop Brian. I just ate it. He's like, what the fuck? Who does that?
Don't eat another man's ice cream.
Yeah, you don't see me stealing your food. And we've been living together for a while.
To be fair, you don't eat a lot of food.
I mean, I eat a lot of food.
Not food.
A lot of variety of food.
Yeah.
The most thing, we share eggs and milk is basically it.
Mm-hmm. And so, you rarely drink eggs or eat milk.
Yep.
that is correct.
I
knew I said it wrong the first time, so I went with it.
That is correct. I
said eggs. I'm like, I'm just gonna go with it
because I don't actually eat eggs, but I need them sometimes when I'm making pancakes or waffles or whatever. So, yeah.
Anyways, for me, Space Dandy's really good. Has the issue of it being too episodic for me to really.
Well, yeah, there's some episodes that are weaker, but there are some episodes.
There are some really good. Yeah, there's some really good episodes, some weaker episodes, but as a whole, I like Space Dandy. It's really fun.
Number 5. It's the newest anime that you're going to see on my list. Okay. And I think it's all both in terms of when it came out versus when the other ones came out, and when I watched it as opposed to when I first watched the other ones. Okay. So it just really, really jumped up in the rankings. It's just consistently. It's very even the weaker episodes. I really like. So
cool. So okay, now we're done.
Yes.
Next episode is Code Geass.
Code Geass season 2. We should be getting Dylan back for that. So hopefully you guys liked him. Mm-hmm. We learned last night that he made his wife listen to the episode, and she apparently liked it.
So yeah, there.
Rachel, if you're listening,
thanks.
No, we really appreciate it. It's great. It's great that people are listening, and we're not just talking into a microphone and getting 2 second all our views are for 2 seconds long because it auto played on something. Who knows?
I'll take it.
Well, you can find us at Twitch, twitch.tv/MinuteGoku for right now. We're playing Chrono Trigger on there. Not very often.
No.
We'll be uploading the archives. I might actually
YouTube.
Do that. Yep, I'll probably do that tomorrow. I'll put part 3 up.
Also follow us on Twitter at anime_territory.
Yep.
And listen to us wherever you get most of your podcasts, except for maybe Apple.
I don't think we're on Apple Podcasts. Yeah. I need to look into manually distributing it there. Mm-hmm. It was supposed to be done automatically, but it never.
I think it looked up once and they're showing up, but it's 3 seconds. So I think there's something wrong with that.
Okay.
But anyways, any other place?
Yeah, I don't have an iPhone, so I don't give a shit. I use Google Podcasts. We show up there just fine. Lots of people. We're on Spotify. That's all over the place. We're on Anchor. We're on a couple other ones that I'd never heard of or had barely heard of. We're on YouTube. That's why we always put the links to the YouTube video on the Twitter, just because that's easier. So,
but that's it. Thanks for joining us, and remember, El Sai Kangaroo.